Now, which theory to choose as my representative sample? Most textbooks give greatest weight to the family of theories based on organic primal soup. It seems probable that the atmosphere of Earth, if the comes of life, was like that of other planets, which is still lifeless. There was no oxygen, plenty of hydrogen, water, carbon dioxide, very likely some ammonia, methane, and other simple organic gases. Chemists know the ocean-free climate like this tend to foster the spontaneous synthesis of organic compounds. They have set up the flask miniature reconstruction of conditions of the early Earth. They have passed through the flask electric sparks, stimulating lightning and ultraviolet light, which would have been much stronger before the Earth had been ozone layer shielding it from the sun rays. The result of this experiment have been exciting. Organic molecules, some of them of the same general types as normally only found in living things, have spontaneously assembled themselves in these flasks. Neither DNA nor RNA has appeared, but the building blocks of these large molecules called purines and pyrimidine have. So, have the building blocks of the protein amino acid. The missing link of this class of theories is still the origin of replication. The building blocks haven't come together to form a self-replicating chain like RNA. Maybe one day they will, but in any case, the organic primal soup theory is not the one I have chosen for many illustrations of the kind of solution that we must look for. I did choose it in my first book, The Selfish Gene, so I thought that here I would fly a kite for a somehow less fashionable theory, although it recently had been started gaining ground, which seemed to me to have at least a sporting chance of being right. Its honesty is appealing and it does illustrate well the properties that any satisfying theory of the origin life must have. This is an inorganic mineral theory of the classical chemist Graham Carl Smith first proposed 20 years ago and since developed elaborate in 3 books, the latest of which, 7 Clues to the Origin of Life, treat the origin of life as a mystery leading a Sherlock Holmes solution. Kyle Smith's view of the DNA protein machinery is that it probably came into existence relatively recently, perhaps as recently as 3 billion years ago. Before that, there were many generations of cumulative selection, based upon some quite different replicating entirety. Once DNA was there, it proved to be so much more efficient as a replicator and so much more powerful in its effects on its own replication that the original replication system that froze and was cast off the forgotten. The modern DNA machinery, according to the view, is a latecomer, the recent usurper of the role of fundamental replicator, having taken over their role from earliest and cruder replicator. There may even have been a whole series of such usurpation, but the original replication process must have been sufficiently simple to have come about through what I have dubbed single-step selection. Chemists divide their subjective into 2 main branches, organic and inorganic. Organic chemistry is the chemistry of one particular element, carbon. Inorganic chemistry is all the rest. Carbon is important and deserves to have its own private branch of chemistry, partly because life chemistry is all carbon chemistry and partly because those some properties that make carbon chemistry suitable for life also make it suitable for industrial process, such as those of the plastics industry. The essential property of the carbon atoms that make them so suitable for life and for the industrial synthetics is that they join together to form a limitless repertoire of different kinds of very large molecules. Another element that has some of these some property is silicon. Although the chemistry of modern earthbound life is all carbon chemistry, this may not be true all over the universe, and it may not always have been true on this earth. Keon Smith believes that the original life on this planet was based on self-replication in organic crystals such as silicates. If it is true, organic replicate and eventually DNA must later have taken over or usurped the role. He gives some argument for the general plausibility of this idea of takeover. An arc of stones, for instance, is a stable structure capable of standing for many years, even if there is no cement to bind it. Building a complex structure by evolution is like trying to build a motorless arc if you are allowed to touch only one stone at a time. Think about the task naively, it can be done. The arc will stand once a last stone in place, but the intermediate stage are unstable. It's quite easy to build an arc, however, if you are allowed to subtract stone as well as add them. Start by building a solid heap of stone, then build the arc resting on top of this solid foundation. Then the arc is all in position, including the vital keystone at the top. Carefully remove the supporting stones, and with a modicum of luck, the arc will remain standing. Stone hedges are incomprehensible until we realize that the builders used some kind of scaffolding, or perhaps ramps of earth, which are no longer there. You can see only the end product. We have to import benched scaffolding. Similarly, DNA and protein are two pillars of the stable and elegant arc, which persists once all its parts simultaneously exist. It's hard to imagine it arising by any step-by-step process unless some earlier scaffolding has completely disappeared. The scaffolding must itself have been built by an earlier form of cumulative selection, and thus nature we can only guess, but it must have been based upon replicating entirely with the power over their own future. Karen Smith's guess is that the original replicator of a crystal of inorganic material, such as those found in clay and mud. A crystal is just a large orderly array of atoms and molecules in the solid state. Because of properties that you can think of, their shape, atoms and small molecules tend naturally to pack themselves together in a fixed and orderly manner. It's almost as though they want to slot together in a particular way, but this illusion is just inadvertent consequence of their properties. The preferred way of slotting together shapes the whole crystal. It also means that even in large crystals such as a diamond, any part of the crystal is exactly the same as any other part, except where there are flaws. If we could shrink ourselves to the atomic scale, we would see almost endless row of atoms stretching to the horizon in straight lines, galleries of geometric repetition.